Good afternoon. My name is Sandra Seidel, and I'm the chairman of the ADA Accessibility Committee. This meeting is now called to order. Will you please silence all electronic devices for the duration of this meeting? The meeting is hybrid form. We do not have a quorum that is physically present, at the Hart Administration Office at 1201 East 7th Avenue in Florida Conference Room, but the rest of the board members are participating via communication media technology. Please look at the screens of your devices. An image of the flag is displayed. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Staff, will you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Scott Clark. Arizona Jenkins. Committee Member Levy.
Here.
Committee Member LeBeau.
I'm present.
Committee Member Mills. Committee Member Poncho.
Present.
Committee Chair Seidel.
Present.
Committee Member Williams.
Here.
And Committee Member Wazorek.
Present.
Unfortunately, you do not have a physical quorum at this time, ma'am.
Right. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to participate in public comments? All right. Next order of business is the approval of the minutes, but since we do not have a quorum present here, we'll dispense with that until the next meeting. Next item is the proposed calendar for year 2023 and their meeting dates. Listed in the agenda are the proposed 2023 meeting dates that will meet quarterly on the third Thursday at 3 p.m. Do any committee members have any comments or objections to the proposed meeting dates?
It just has a typo and needs to be updated to 2023.
We'll get it changed. It's 2023,
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, not
Yes.
2022. Let's hope it's not 2022.
Yes, thank you for that correction.
Thank you, Millie.
No worries.
Any other comments? Is 3 o'clock still good for everyone?
It is for me.
It seems that that's a yes, so let's stay with the 3 p.m. meetings. Next is my report. I want to let everybody know that I did do some training with the new employees, especially with using the seatbelts on the buses. That went well, but I have to admit that once they're out on the route, they're back to the same old standards. They don't know how to pull the seatbelts and fasten them. So that needs to be addressed again. November 5th, I went to the Yes America Disability Fair. It was fantastic. We had a lot of Hart employees there, a lot of Hillsborough County, Tampa residents, and government agencies there. It was a fantastic day, and next year I hope everybody else can attend. It's usually the first Saturday of October, and it was great. The other thing that I wanted to bring out is on the buses, and I'm taking them more and more, walkers and shopping carts aren't being folded up. They're in the aisles. they're inhibiting not only ambulatory passengers to get on and off, but the wheelchairs to get on and off. And HART needs to address that too. And that's all I have. Next is the HART Plus, a Customer Choice Voucher Program update. Mr. Omar Alvarado, Chief Delivery Officer, will present now. Mr. Alvarado?
Thank you very much. So a couple quick updates month over month. So in October, we provided 17,102 trips on the HART Plus side. That's a roughly 3,000 passenger increase from September. In terms of on-time performance for appointments, we're at 93.94 OTP. And for the pickup window, we're at 73.32%. We expect a new class of operators to start in January. On the yellow cab side, we're also seeing 1,904 trips for September. 1,000 of those were wheelchair users. And year-to-date, we've got 390,569 trips on the yellow cab side. In terms of liquidated damages, we've imposed about 3% of liquidated damages year over year. In terms of average passengers, so we're averaging about 700 passengers on an average weekday for HART Plus right now. On Saturday, that's 265, and on Sunday, that's 217. The October 2022 trip count isn't finished yet on the yellow cab side, but month to date, we're at about 1,082, or mid-month rather, of total trips, with 595 of those being wheelchair. And one final update, we're working on finalizing the new RFP for the new AVL APC system on the paratransit side. That'll allow riders to book their trip, cancel their trip, pay for their trip, and view where their vehicle is, all from their phone. You'll still have all the other capabilities we have today, but this new system will allow you to do everything from your phone as well. We expect that to roll out either late first quarter 2023 or early second quarter 2023. That's my update for the day. Thank you.
Any questions for anyone? Raquel?
I may have asked this in the past in regards to the app, so please forgive me if I have asked and you've answered it. My memory's been poor. Have we tested out the accessibility of the app for people who use screen reading devices and such? Is that going to be accessible for individuals who use like the voiceover and types of things?
That's the expectation. So we're in the middle of finalizing the RFP right now, so it should be released out to the to the market in the next couple of weeks or so. But certainly accessibility is going to be one of the important pieces to that as well, for sure.
Just as a word of caution, because I do deal with a lot of reviews of entities that claim wonderful accessibility.
Sure.
When you actually test out the product many times, and they'll have these wonderful 508 compliance statements for their electronic access, but when you actually start testing out the product, it really is not accessible. So maybe having a team of community members who have visual disabilities might be a great thing
So
to do.
and that's a great point. And in our calendar, that's actually part of the process. So we're going to do an initial beta test with a set of customers, probably 20 to 30, just a small group, testing some of those things that you're talking about, in addition to all the other functionalities as well. So for whichever vendor gets picked, we can go back to them and say, okay, here's some of the changes we need maybe before we go out to full, to the public as a whole.
Manager, I have a couple questions for you, Omar. Is your name Omar?
That's correct. How are you?
Very good. I've been at HART Plus from day one. But I've been seeing a lot of bad changes going on with that. Because when you are being left, many times, if people being left, and I know what they're doing. They're pushing the call button after they leave. Because I know what time my pickup is. I know where I'm supposed to be at. We was at a hospital one day, and I'm coming down the elevator. And, the hospital elevator is very busy. So they got people going in and out. So when I get down there, the van is already gone. I've been left. It's 7 o'clock at night, getting dark. I got to call, get a cab, and wait for another hour to get picked up because your van had left right when I was getting out the door. Now, I've been left at Walmart with a bunch of groceries. Again, I know what time the van comes. I know where I need to be at to get picked up. But when I put the trip, it's my responsibility to be where I'm supposed to be at that time, the time that I booked. One more incident, I've been sitting out there on the sidewalk for 2.5 hours waiting for a van from 6 o'clock to 10 minutes to 8. Again, it's dark. People don't know who you are. They think you're sitting in a wheelchair, they think you're homeless. Are you okay? You need any help? Okay. I'm like, I'm waiting for a van. I got money, I don't need no, I'm not homeless. Okay? But they figure because you're in a wheelchair, you're homeless. You're sitting outside 2.5 hours waiting on a van. That's crazy. That is unacceptable. And then your drivers are getting attitude with us because they're late. You be asking them, why you late? What do you mean why I'm late? They give me all these pickups at the same time. I'm like, that's not my problem. I'm like, you wait late. All you gotta do is say, I'm late because of whatever. I don't need no other. Cause I'm already pissed off. He's pissed off. And he's gonna get what? And some of your drivers are not dressing the right way. Their pants hanging off their behind. And again, when you're locked in the wheelchair, you gotta lean against you. They gotta lean over you. So as they lean over you, I'm looking at crack. I don't wanna do crack. I don't wanna look at my own crack. You gotta tell the driver to pull their hands up. This is a job. This is not where you can wear and they can wear. You got a uniform. Like in the days, the shoes were clean, the clothes were iron. But now, you got the pants hanging up the behind, shirt hanging down. I mean, it looks tip. This is a Hillsborough County area transit authority for the whole county. People don't want to do that. And then you got the drivers, they call down the van like that, that's their car. That's why you got all these vans in the shop because they tear them up. They're driving crazy, and they're not taking the time to slow down. They're going with people in the wheelchair like they're rocking. And you know what I mean? I don't care. I say, hey, you gotta slow down. But you got me in the back. I don't know about nobody else, but you got me. You're gonna drive this van right, either pull over. You guys need to do retraining of your drivers. There's no pride in driving a van no more. Like it used to be. There used to be a lot of pride. People used to love to do it. But now, it's like, pick it up, go, you know, there's no more pride. And I just want to let you guys know that when they pick me up, I tell them, pull your pants up, I want you to back. Okay? And then I tell them, slow down, and I don't lock me out. Though I will be locked out right, because if I fall out on one of these beds, it's gonna be every other bed, not hotline. So, and my friend is no longer here, Ms. Kimberly Green.
That's
Are
correct.
you taking her spot?
No, she's no longer here with us.
I know she's not. Are you taking her spot?
Yeah, I'll be here in her place, yes.
So you be taking, so you be doing everything that she did?
Yeah, so everything related to paratransit does flow to me, the paratransit operators, the technology and the scheduling as well. Obviously, we have dispatch that supports us as a shared service between fixed route and paratransit. But you bring up some great comments, I think, in terms of some follow-ups. If you, as you experience some of these things, if you have like a day or a time that these things happened, that'll definitely help us investigate a little further with some of these things. So just feel free to call in and just, or even when these things are happening, just call and let us know the day of the trip and we can
I've
investigate a little
always
further.
called, but I want to make sure that the board knows what's going on.
No, that's fair. Thank you for that.
You taking her spot, so I need to get your email, and you'll never do anything, because you're gonna be here for me a lot.
Yeah,
'Cause
understood.
I don't take no mess. You picking me up, 2 hours after I was there walk, that's ridiculous. Your driver's not on time, and they're not dressing right. I don't know what's going on,
Yeah,
because this used to be a good company. They used to be great. Now people don't care about nothing. We need to go back to the old way of doing things. Put the pants up, iron your clothes, be on time, be courteous to the people. You gotta be courteous to the people. Don't forget, it could be you one day sitting in that van. You never know. So we need to have more pride and love for your job. And I keep hearing about that you guys are trying to privatize this. I don't know if that's true or not, but it wouldn't be in a good interest to do that, because this is too big of a demand for any other company to come in. You can barely get hotline to do all your pickups. And we're hiring drivers. We gotta get it back together. I mean, I'm tired. I'm very tired of being on the job walk for 2 hours. That's not gonna fly. So I don't know where the CEO. She not here today. The CEO not here today. Y'all let her know what I did.
The CEO is not here today, I think is what he said. Is the
He's asking
CEO
he's asking if Ms. LeGrand is present today.
Oh,
And
no,
if-
she's not in this meeting today, no.
And if not, he's requesting that you relay all of his comments.
Absolutely.
And issues
Yeah.
to her directly.
Yeah, I will. Thank you for that, Arizona.
Chairwoman Seidel, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I do want to respond to several things that Mr. Jenkins said, and a few things about what you mentioned earlier about your experience and the training and so forth. And Mr. Jenkins, of course, as a board member for HART and representing the community and the employees, and you as well, we want to do our very best, and we want to hear when there are issues that you bring forward. And I think that you brought a number of them forward that we want to make sure we address. And so we don't take them lightly. And I want to personally say to you that we don't take them lightly, and we will take steps to make sure that we hear what you said. And I have captured them all. I tried to get most of them as much as possible, but we do know how to contact you. And for that, anyone that has concerns and want to bring those forward that we don't know until someone says something to us. And so there should be no assumption that we know. Please, please, please bring it to our attention, and we will make sure that we talk to the CEO as well. And I think that was your request, to make sure that she is aware of those things that happen, and the chair, Chair Seidel, and then as well, Chair Kemp, and making sure the board of directors make sure that they are aware when we meet from a committee standpoint. And so, I apologize for any ill treatment that you've experienced, and we want the best, but I know our employees also want to deliver the best. And I hear their concerns, and they want to be able to give you their best. And I can say that we got to figure out how to close those gaps in the middle. And I hope I've represented your feelings, and I also want you to know that they have been heard, and I will continue to take those matters forward, as well as making sure that we take whatever steps that causes those things to happen to close those gaps, so our employees can make sure that they can give you the best that they can possibly give.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
One of the problem is your new schedule. The new schedules. I don't think you know how to schedule. I've been living here 47 years. Why would you have me picked up here? I'll go in that maybe. Why would you take me all the way to Bannon first, and they have me go way back to that baby? That's crazy. You got traffic. You got to realize about traffic and get a better time to get to these places. Mm-hmm. But you got me being picked up here, going to Birmingham, and then come back this way. That's crazy.
The dynamics of the route, I think I'm going to leave that to people who design those routes and who can best answer those questions. And maybe there's some things that we may or may not can do, but I don't want to speak out of turn. So I'll make sure that we relay that feedback, and the folks that do that very well will make sure that they hear you and see what other recommendations, or if there are some, that we all want to do the best possible. And you may be bringing something to light that I may not be aware of, or they may not, or may have. So I think that's another opportunity that we can hear.
I mean, I didn't come in to do all that complaining.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I didn't come in to do all that complaining. Mm-hmm. But if you got to know what's going on.
I don't see them as complaints. I see them as opportunities for us to be better, get better, and so forth. So I appreciate your feedback. You're on this committee for a reason, and you're representing experiences, and I understand that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Chair Seidel, it might be give me another moment, that you talked about the seat belts, and the seat belts not knowing how to operate the seat belts, and then the walkers and the shopping carts. And I wanted you to know I took those down as steps we can look at and make sure that we care about the safety of everyone. And hearing that, I want you to know that it wasn't a comment you made. It's a follow-up and an action that we can take back to see what steps we need to take so that does not happen. We don't want anyone to have shopping carts and walkers in the middle lane where someone could get hurt in the seatbelts as well. So I was going to save it for roundtable, but thank you for the opportunity to speak to it.
That's all right, thank you. You have anything else?
Yeah, no, just thank you very much for the comments, and I did take notes on everything you noted there, particularly on, the seatbelts, as you mentioned, the uniforms, and some of the double back on the trip. So we'll definitely do some follow-up and see some of the things that we can do in the short term to fix those issues.
If I may say one more thing, like in the day, they used to use us as training. So when they have a new class, they would call us out to train them on how to do the CPR, and how to lock them down, and all that. We haven't done that in a while.
Okay, well, I'm sure we'll do that for the next time.
Next is basic transit infrastructure update. Mr. Dwayne Brown, Project Manager 1.
Okay, can you hear me now? All right. How's everybody doing today? I'm Dwayne Brown, the Basic Transit Infrastructure Program Manager, and I'll be giving you an update today. We had a very busy quarter. We had a total of 16 projects that we completed. We have one project that's currently in pre-construction. We have one project in permitting, 10 projects that's in design, 13 shelters that we have installed, and 20 more shelters that are on the way to be in there with the contractor to be installed. Right. So with the the first project, one of the projects we completed was at 30th and Hillsborough. I probably need to make this a little bit bigger, but the stop there was out of compliance, so we did an elevated pad there, took out that old shelter that was there. It's called a T-top shelter. It was like 30 years old, and we removed that and we placed in one of our new shelters at that stop. The next one that we completed was at Hillsborough Orient, right across from the Seminole Hard Rock Casino. There, as you can see, it was just on the side of the road there, so we put in a 30-foot landing pad and with a shelter pad on the back, and we also added a brand new shelter to that stop as well. The other project that we completed was the Parsons, the Route 38 Parsons Road corridor between MLK and Brandon Boulevard, and we completed 14 stops in that. All 14 stops along that corridor we completed in the last quarter. So that's a total of 16 stops we completed there. We have the project that we currently have in pre-construction is at Tampa Bay Boulevard at the HCC, at the Del Mabry HCC. We're going to be expanding that bus bay to accommodate more buses there. We have several routes that have a time point there, so we're going to expand that bus bay to get more buses in there. And that project is currently with procurement. We have a project with down in South Shore HCC at the South Shore HCC. That one is currently in permitting. It has just come out of permitting with the Public Works, and I think they're about ready to go ahead and release that back to us. So we'll be getting that into procurement as well here. We have 10 projects in design: 34th at Lake, Falkenberg at MLK, Rolette Park at Mulberry, Himes at Humphreys, Spruce Street at Clark Landing, Columbus Drive at Florida, Armenia Waters, 21st Avenue. We have two on 21st Avenue at 43rd Street and 40th Street, and one at Memorial Highway and George Road. I know that kind of sounds like a whole bunch of different places there, but a lot of these projects were brought up either in this forum or with C-Click Fix, or with the community at large coming to talk to us about these areas being need for new shelters and new stops being placed in these places. So we are working diligently to get those all completed. So with our new shelter locations, we have 13 new shelters that are out on the street. We have 10 that were placed by HART. We have 10 that were placed by HART, and we have 3 shelters that were built that we requested through developers. And so all the locations that we have right there, so the ones at Manhattan and McCoy, and the one at West Shore and Fair Oaks, those were completed by developers who purchased those at our request. And the rest that we put up, our HART maintainers put those up. And then it's a little bit wonky, I know, I make it a little bit bigger so you can see. But these are the shelters that we are getting ready to install. The green represents the shelters that were already put up as a part of our original, installation plan. And then the ones that are in blue are going to be installed by our contractor, AJ Construction. And the ones in purple are going to be installed by our contractor, American CSI Construction. Any questions?
Yeah, the one by 83, that maybe. Now, when the bus pull up, how do they get a wheelchair on that? Well, cause that sidewalk is way up above the road. So we would have to come down on the road to get on, I believe.
So with the new design, the way the bus stop is going to be designed, we're going to be lengthening it to where they're gonna cut it back a little bit. There's a big swell that's right there currently, but we've got it to where we are gonna cut that back and allow the buses to be able to come in at a better angle to get them closer up to the sidewalk and to the curb, so that it's easier for the bus ramp to come in and out of that. And so that's our goal there, to make it more accessible to have it not only for one bus to come in there and be at a better angle, but to have two buses that'll be able to get in there and be at good angles. And we're gonna make sure that the sidewalk and the landing pads there are gonna be made
You're
done
gonna
correctly.
add a sidewalk going down. Is that what you're saying? From the sidewalk down,
From the sidewalk down to,
where you can go right down the walkway to get on the bus. And now the sidewalk is all the way up here.
so are you talking about the entrance to the sidewalk, like as it comes from the school? You saying that
But
there's
then when
no
the
curb?
bus pull up, the ramp comes down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get off the sidewalk to come down to the bus.
Okay, I'll have to go and look at that to make sure that is,
Because when the bus pull up, you either have to be all the way down there or go down the lane and come back up to the bus. Because again, the sidewalk is too high. The bus can't get there because they gotta go. And there's a ditch between the sidewalk and where the bus is.
okay. So I think that this project will address will address those issues, so that you won't have to do
When I
that.
went the other day, there's a sidewalk over here. You got a ditch. Then you got the other side of the road to get where the bus was. So I had to go down to the light, come back around to get on the bus.
Okay,
We gotta add a little walkway between the sidewalk and the ditch, so we can go walk down to the bus.
okay, all right. Let me so we'll get that addressed. I apologize. I'm trying to remember exactly how that layout is, but we'll address that issue. All right. Any other questions? I'm sorry.
I do. Are there any plans for new shelters there at the Florida State Fairgrounds on Durant Road? Or just the pads?
So on Orient Road, yes, those are part of the I believe that's going to be American Construction who is going to be putting those out. But we're going to be placing two shelters out there on the Orient Road at Fairgrounds.
I also wanted to say, I saw some of the new shelters and they look fantastic. And I also want to thank you guys for finally putting a trash can up at the Walgreens stop on Parsons Avenue at Brandon Boulevard. That was a mess there. You know, it's just a bench and everybody's just throwing everything out. So thank you all for helping with getting the trash can there.
Oh, you're welcome. Appreciate it.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, roundtable discussion. Let's go around and, Ms. Pancho?
I actually kind of wanted to ask a question, more of a technical question. In regards to the pickup window, when the report was that 72% of the time, the team was meeting the availability of the pickup window. With the concerns that Arizona was raising, I actually was with Arizona when he was at the hospital. I don't know if that's the same incident at Tampa General, because we were visiting a local advocate. He was at the hospital. So when he is calling the center saying that the bus is driven away, is that a number that's factored into the pickup window, or how is that meeting the 72% pickup time being calculated? How's that data being drawn?
Yeah, so obviously like no-shows, or we'll call them no-shows, or no pickups, those don't count as on time. Those would be factored into that number, so that does impact our on-time performance. Negatively, obviously. So, if we have 10 trips, let's just say, and 3 of those have that issue, those 3 would impact our on-time performance negatively. So it is factored in, so it is a part of that calculation.
Okay. So in that situation, he would have actually been counted as a no-show because the bus took off?
No, we would have been counted as late essentially for not picking up, so there's no pickup.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Millie?
I don't have anything today, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Williams? Arizona?
I think I said everything I had to say.
I have one thing. A while back, we were putting posters of some sort up on the vans about our meetings. Are we going to continue those? If not, I need to know, because everybody's been asking me. I didn't see it. If we're going to continue, can it also be put on the buses as well as in the vans? Any comments about that?
We can go ahead and do that.
I'm going to
Yeah,
do it.
we can advertise the meetings in
Okay.
both.
That'll be great. It's going to be up, according to Mr. Alvarado. Okay.
Thank you, that's a great idea.
Pardon?
Thank you, that's a great idea.
It needs to be done, yeah. Okay. Any new business?
Committee Chair, you do have 2 members on the line.
Okay.
Committee Member Levy and
Okay, Ms. Levy?
Ms. LeBeau.
No comment at this time. Thank
Okay.
you.
Ms. LeBeau?
Yes, I'm sure you're all aware that 3 commissioners will be stepping down from the Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners. Commissioner Smith, Commissioner Overman, and Commissioner White will be replaced with 3 new commissioners, and the 3 new commissioners will be sworn in on Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I have.
Do you have anything else?
No, that's all, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. If there's no other business, I'll say have happy holidays to everybody, and we'll see you February of 2023.
Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.